Hi, welcome to the Motion Picture Notion. I'm your host, Gabriel Burton. I've been thinking a lot, okay? And for the longest time I've said that Back to the Future is my favorite movie ever. And not for nothing. Back to the Future is, as far as filmmaking goes, pretty much a perfect movie. There's very little, if anything, that you can find wrong with that movie. Even frickin' Siskel and Ebert said they really don't see any way that anybody could not like that movie. So it's definitely up there. It's definitely on my top 10, but I think that it could actually come down a notch now because of The World's End, the third in the Cornetto trilogy. Yeah, believe it or not, I liked that movie better than Shaun of the Dead, which, if you refer back to my video in season 1, I said the same thing. But I never really thought about like how much of an impact that movie had on me. I love that movie. Simon Pegg portrays a character by the name of Gary King. And in this one year, it was their graduating year of high school, I believe, all right, 1991 or something like that, sometime in the early 90s. They went on this legendary pub crawl where they were supposed to hit up like these 12 different pubs, and they only made it to like, I think 8 or 9 of them before like, everything went haywire, and they just like, a couple of them had passed out along the way, so not even all of them were there. The World's End had my favorite opening to a movie ever. Now this is subject to change. Odds are, like 5 years down the road, I'm going to have a new favorite movie of all time, but this movie will always hold a special place in my heart, and right now it is my favorite movie. He's basically describing, you don't realize until the end of the soliloquy that it's a support group that he's sitting in, but Gary King is narrating this legendary night. I don't know the exact quote, but it's something to the effect of, and as I looked out onto the dawn of a new day, blood on my knuckles, sick on my shoes, I looked out at the horizon thinking that life would never feel this good. That life would never feel this good again. And you know what? And then it reveals that he's in a support group, and he's like in his late 30s, and he goes like, it never did. They set up like this movie, and it appears that it's going to be like kind of a comedic character study as they start out at the first couple of pubs. He gathers his old buddies together, and they've all excelled in life. One of them's like a professional architect, one of them's into car sales, one's into real estate. They're all very successful, essentially. And Gary King is over here recruiting them all to go back on this pub crawl, but this time we're going to finish it. And he's driving the exact same like 1980s car that he was driving when he was in high school. He is dressing the same. He sounds the same. He acts the same. He's still like just a complete mess. His character actually is a very, very sympathetic one if you really see the movie through to the end. I mean, he's an asshole, but he's a sympathetic asshole. So they go on this pub crawl based on a lie that Gary King tells them, because otherwise he never really would have gotten them together the way he did. And around midway through the movie, it takes a sharp left. It's just like, what the hell am I watching now? It's like From Dusk Till Dawn, where like, the first half of the movie is just like these criminals are trying to escape to the Mexican border, so they like, hijack this family, and it's like a heist murder movie until they get to the Mexican border. And then when they meet up at the rendezvous point, it's sort of like Robert Rodriguez is like, just kidding, it's a vampire movie. And he just drops that bomb on you. And it is like a bomb. It's not like something that like you sort of start to figure out, and that no, it hits you all at once in one scene. Boom, this is what the movie really is. And The World's End does the exact same thing. But the themes from the first half of the movie stay true throughout the course of its runtime. Edgar Wright is a brilliant director. He has knocked it out of the park. I mean, you got Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This dude is brilliant. His editing is brilliant. His understanding of like the human condition is brilliant. And the way he can take that understanding of the human condition, apply it to something completely out there and absurd, and make it this enjoyable, almost existential just fun thrill ride is amazing to me. This movie had the perfect balance of everything. And though it is rated R, it's not for everybody. I feel like it could appeal to a lot of people, fans of a vast array of genres. It really is just cool, and I could go a little bit deeper into it, but again, I don't want to get into spoilers. Guys, if you're a fan of British humor, if you're a fan of Shaun of the Dead and you've not seen this movie, you may disagree with me. You may be like, no, Shaun of the Dead was better. I think that most people actually think that Shaun of the Dead was better. But I'm begging you, order it, buy it, rent it, what have you. Any means that you have of watching this movie, it's really, really, really cool. And if you're a fan of Shaun of the Dead, I think you will love it. But anyway, as of right now, 2020, The World's End is my favorite movie of all time. And that's all she wrote.